Thokozani, Hotep Royals. This is a short video to go over some basic things as we prepare for the 23rd of September, when we will be going to celebrate the New Year, the African New Year, on the 23rd of September in Zaloyelanga. Now, I just wanted to go over some quick tips because we have begun fasting today. I'm saying today, the 23rd. It's a Wednesday, the 23rd of August. This is when the fast begins. So these points that I'm going to give are very important. I also notice that people are not reading the posters. And so we are getting questions like, what type of fast are we doing? So I will go over those quickly. Guys, please read what's on the posters because it helps us in not having to repeat ourselves over and over again, because the poster for the fasting does have the guidelines as to how we do this fast. The other thing I wanted to recommend is for those in South Africa or those with an Android phone, wherever you are in the world, you are able to join Kemet Chat. If you go onto gekmovement.org, you should be able to get onto Kemet Chat so you can join in Umpatlo, because that's going to be regular and serious for all the different times of the day until we get to September 23rd. So one of the things that people may be wondering is, why is it important to fast? And I'm doing this video because we have to understand how absolutely essential it is that people follow these rules and instructions. Number one, we are going to a sacred space. We are going to the most sacred space probably in the entire world, if not on the continent of Africa. So please, please, please adhere to the fast. We would prefer that if you don't fast, don't come, because what that does, it really affects the energetics and the harmony and the vibration of the collective. Remember that we are only as strong as our weakest link. And at several of these sites, it has become clear that when people have not fasted, we encounter a lot of challenges. So please do try to stick to this. Do try to adhere to this. So number one, like I said, we fast because we're going to a sacred space. We fast in order to respect amadlozi wetu. We want to respect our ancestors, because anytime there is a ceremony or a ritual, you really want to go to this in a fasted state. The fasted state does several things for you. So it's very important, especially at this particular site. Then another thing is we also want to respect others, right? Like I said, we are only as strong as our weakest links. So if you are somebody who really is passionate about achieving the things that they want to achieve, then join the collective and fast, particularly if you're coming to the sacred site. For those of you at home, I mean, we would love for you to help us with the fasting because it just helps with raising that vibration. We'd love for you to assist us in patlo, whether you patla by yourself at home or you can patla, like I said, with others on Kemet Chat, just to make it regular for yourself. This is going to require a lot of discipline. It's a long time to be fasting. And it's a long time also to be patlaring, which is something you really ought to be doing every day at the regular times. So we also want to respect the actual ritual and ceremony itself, right? We understand that we're not going there to just play, but we're going there to connect with these neters or these higher principles or energies, as well as our own amatongo or ancestors. So these neters or neteru are your amadlozi lao, right? And amatongo are our bloodline ancestors. So make them proud, and do the right thing. The other thing is you also want to be preparing your body. This is what fasting does. It will prepare your body in several ways. Number one, by detoxifying. It'll make your body lighter. By doing so, it makes it easier for you to meditate, which is something that you ought to be doing at this time as we prepare. Remember, we are still in the womb of Ummah. This, if you haven't been meditating all this time, this is probably the 1 month, these next 21 days, where you really want to go inward. And in order to do that and to really connect with your higher self, your body needs to be light. Because remember, your body is dense. And it is what actually keeps your spirit sort of trapped or closer to earth instead of allowing you to ascend, right? The other thing you want to do is it also will assist you in raising your vibrations, because when you fast and you detox your body, you also clear your chakras, which are your 7 energy centers, right up and down your spine. So it allows this energy to move, which brings us to the third point. It allows you, or will make it easier for you, to actually lift or activate or awaken the Kundalini, which is the life force energy or sehem that sits at the base of your spine, much like a coiled snake. And so with a lot of meditation and focusing and fasting, you create a clean space whereby when you go to this place, which is actually a very healing place, just given the electromagnetic frequency of that space, you can literally be healed there, right? Any energies that are misaligned in your body, any physical ailments, even psychological, mental, emotional unwellness, can get healed when you go to the sacred place. It's great because it's a place which allows you to really, really function at a very highly spiritual level if you allow this process to do so. And so, what are the guidelines of the fast? The poster, guys, is this one. I know it's in black and white, but it's the one with the waterfall on it. Please, if you need to download it, I suggest that you download it. You know, on Facebook, you can kind of download pictures. On all our social medias, they're there. Even on TikTok, I've made the pictures such that you can download and save them to your phone so that you have them handy. So we want to make sure that our first meal is before sunrise, right? And then you want to consume only water and fruit in between. So if you make your first meal at sunrise, that first meal that you have could be, you know, umdoho, wamabele. A lot of people like that. It could be anything that you eat for breakfast that does not have meat and that does not have dairy. You want to avoid meat, you want to avoid dairy. And in between, so you've had your first meal at sunrise, then in between you want to consume only water and fruit. Another idea for a morning breakfast is you can make yourself a rich smoothie. You can add some fruit, you can add avocado, is extremely filling. You can add banana for energy. And then you can have that as your breakfast. Then in between you can have water and fruit, or you can make another smoothie. You can use coconut water to make your smoothie with you know, your fruit. In other words, you're not going to starve during this time. The idea is not to starve, because once you start starving your body, then you're going to get to a point where you can't do it anymore. And then you're just going to binge eat. And we really want to avoid, I had to laugh. You want to avoid binge eating, right? So start right. Don't make this a punishment, because it's not. It's just a very rigorous preparation for where we are going, right? Your last meal you want to do after sunset. So after the sun has set, you can have your last meal. It can be ipapa, lamawele with ikabish or morojo, ubonchisi, beans. You can make a nice bean stew. Very little oil in there, please. Once again, we're trying to clean out your body, especially your digestive system, because this is where it all starts. Your gut, as they say, is like your second brain. And your gut is also a spiritual seat. So you want to make sure that things are moving quickly out the gut. This is why we cut out meat, because meat clogs up your system. Meat is very hard to digest. It can take 2 or 3 days for a meal of meat to actually work its way out of your body. Whereas fruits and vegetables digest very quickly. They also have a lot of fiber, which will help clean out your gut. Fiber helps to trap toxins as well. So it removes any toxins that may be in your body and removes them out. Fiber is also good for trapping parasites. So that can also be a good time to do a parasite cleanse. And I'm going to give you a tip as to how you can do this in a minute. So no meat, no dairy. Avoid heavy meals, meaning to say whatever it is you're cooking your vegetables in. If you're going to eat ipapa, try ipapa la mawele because it's highly nutritious. It's actually way better than white pap. In fact, white pap is not good for Bagwantu. It's not good for 9 ether beings. Our ancient diet was amabele. So if you can find amabele and use that, that would be great. No sexual activity. Now, well, look, think about it this way. You're only being asked to do this just this one time. You will be amazed at the benefits that you will reap on a physical, spiritual, emotional, mental level if you abstain from sexual activity. Your sexual activity involves the use of your life force energy, your creative force. And at this time, you really want to preserve that energy for higher spiritual work. Anyone will tell you that whenever they want to engage in higher spiritual work, they cut out sexual activity. You also don't want to be exchanging energy with anyone at this time because you're trying to keep yourself pure. Also at this time, it is easier to get messages or to get divine inspiration if you are in that state of purity. And by purity, I'm not implying that sex is dirty. I always have to say this. I'm simply implying that your energetic body has to be integral and it has to be just your energetic body and not infused with someone else's energy. Does that make sense? Then you can cut back and reduce your favorite habits. This is very hard for a lot of people. If you're a smoker, opportunity to cut back because you're making some sort of sacrifice, right? You're giving something up for a greater cause. Alcohol, you may want to cut back or stop altogether. My suggestion is don't make this a torture. If you're not able to cut out totally, that also indicates a problem if you can't stop drinking for a few days, but cut back little by little. And as you go on into the fast, it becomes easier because we don't want to create a situation where you lose willpower after 2 weeks because it becomes all too much. The other thing is, so you want to cut back smoking, you want to cut back drinking, you want to cut back TV, you also want to cut back social media. That's going to be hard for a lot of us because we get a lot of our information on social media. My suggestion is rather than be one of these constant browsers, you know, these people who just go on and go through tons and tons and tons of material that's in their feeds, what I would do is know where you're going and know that you're going to look for specific information, get that information and then get out. Rather spend your time really going inward. There's a lot of teachings that we've given that will assist you in meditation and going inward. There are a lot of you who've put on the back burner certain healing issues that they have that require going inward. This is a great opportunity to do that work now, consciously and intentionally, right? So we are going to walk the pathway of the gods. And so as we go to walk the pathway of the gods, as Ubab Credo calls these sacred spaces, you want to present yourself in a manner that is respectable, that gives reverence, and that shows gratitude for the fact that we come from such great ancestry that left all these spaces for us so we can connect with one another as a collective and also connect with the divine. So on that note, thank you. So here it is. That poster is there. I've given you, so I don't want to see any more questions about what type of fast are we doing. I will see if I can pin this video on one of our pages. I can't do 2 pins of one thing, but I will pin this probably on Gogo Nkanyezi Speaks, so that even those at GK can come back to it. Okay. Now, here is a hack that I have for you guys. During this time, I'm going to show you something that you can do to really detox your body. Detox your body in such a way that we are removing heavy metals, we are prepping your liver and removing cholesterol, all that gunky fat. A lot of people have fatty liver. We are going to optimize the function of your kidneys by removing anything in there that can result in kidney stones, that can result in you not being able to excrete urine properly. We are going to get rid of medications and drugs. A lot of people are on medications and drugs. We want to remove some of the byproducts of the metabolism of these drugs. Remember, when you take a drug, it just doesn't go into your tummy and start working. What happens is it has to go to the liver, where it is then activated, and the active ingredient in the drug is what then works. But there are all these other compounds and chemicals that are carrier chemicals that are of no use to your body and that may be toxic. So now when you do what I'm about to show you, you get rid of those things from your liver so it's also functioning optimally. This is a great way to do a sweeping of your gut. Literally, this will be like a broom in your gut, sweeping all the gunk out. It is a very good cleanse for parasites. We all accumulate parasites. Tapeworm, we accumulate things that are called, what do you call these things? Giardia, Cryptosporidium. There are so many parasites that we accumulate. We accumulate them in the liver. We accumulate them in the intestine. And these are the parasites that compromise our nutrition uptake because they also eat when we eat. So if you notice that you're somebody who's always hungry, or you have a kid who's always hungry, please make sure that you check on parasites, because parasites are a common problem. Where do we get these parasites? We're getting these parasites basically from our fruits and vegetables. You can wash them all you like, but sometimes the eggs are microscopic. So you think you're eating a clean fruit, a clean apple. Yeah, but it's probably got some eggs there. And when they go into your digestive system, they are then, hatched and they make their way. Usually it's between your large intestine and your colon. And that's where they burrow and stay, so that they're not in the acidic space of your stomach, but they're in the place where your food is absorbed, which is the small intestine. This is where the nutrients from your food get absorbed. So they end up clogging blood vessels. They grow. Tapeworm can grow pretty long in there if it's not excreted or if it's not killed. And the eggs also can get killed through detoxing. Also, when you starve your body or you fast, you're not giving an overload of nutrients. Therefore, in a sense, you're also starving these parasites, and then they have to come out. In fact, they die and then they excrete. I know it sounds terrible, but it is what it is, guys. That is life and that is nature. Okay? So I'm going to show you something really quickly. I have here warm water. So what you want to do is you want to take 8 ounces of warm water. You want to take 1 or 2 lemons or limes or limes too. This is a fairly big one. If you have the small ones, you might want to take 3. I use 2 big ones like this. And then you're going to, let me see if I can flip this down so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay. So then you're going to just squeeze the juice of this in here. I'm not going to do it all, but I want to demonstrate, because then someone will be saying, how do we put the lemon? Do we drop it all in? Do we? I know you guys. I live Vilapa to read. Yo! Okay, so there we go. So you're going to squeeze 2 lemons like that, right? Warm water, lemons. Then you want to get activated charcoal. You can get this in your pharmacies. I know Discam has it because I've bought activated charcoal in South Africa. Any place, any reputable place will have what is called activated charcoal, which is suitable for human consumption, right? You can consume this. It's okay. You don't go and buy amalal. Please don't do this. I mean, I have to say it because you know what can be misunderstood will be misunderstood. Someone will be at home and say, hey, I have a sack of charcoal that has been sitting in my garage. Let me just grind it. And no, you go and you get what is called activated charcoal. It is made or created in a specific way, and it is the only charcoal that is not toxic and that has these properties, right? So you're going to take 1 tablespoon, right? And you're going to mix it in the water. So remember, it's only 8 ounces. Don't go making a whole jug because you'll, right? And then you're going to drink it. I'm not drinking mine because I don't need it right now. But I just wanted to show you how simple this is. So go get yourself some activated charcoal, 1 tablespoon, 2 lemons, 8 ounces, 8 to 10 ounces of water, warm water, so that the charcoal dissolves. And then you mix, and you drink this down. First thing in the morning. Before you eat your breakfast, before you do anything else, you wake up, you patla with the others, or you patla by yourself. When you patla, we are going to be facing north. You finish your patla, you go make your gulp it, drink it like you drink water. It's not a juice, okay? It's not to be sipped on. Drink it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to wait 1.5 to 2 hours before you eat. So now, because the first meal of the day has to be before sunrise, this may mean that you need to wake up earlier. So if sipatla was 6, that means you might have to wake up at 5. When you wake up, maybe do it before you patla, because now this is, yeah. So do it before you patla, right? And then after you patla, you prepare whatever meal you're preparing and you eat that. Patla at 6 in South Africa. I don't know if it's before sunrise. Anyway, try to stick as much as possible to the program. But I would suggest that you wake up, you boil your water, you do this. It's going to be, if you do it at 5, then you're going to be waiting. You patla at 6, that's already an hour. Then all you have to do is wait for another half hour before you eat. After that, you're set for the day. Do this every single day. And you know what? Thank me later. And I would love to hear what the results of this cleanse was. Here are some things to look out for when you do the cleanse, guys. Oof. Here are some things to look out for. Number 1, if your first week you break out in a rash, that is very normal. If you break out in a rash on your body, on your shoulders, maybe on your tummy, very normal. Because this is your body releasing toxins. Okay? You're detoxing. Never mind the charcoal, even just the fast itself. By removing certain things from your diet, your body is going to start detoxing. So that first week might be rough. You might even have bad breath. You're detoxing. You might, your sweat might smell particularly pungent. You're detoxing. Those are all good signs that you're detoxing. How do you want to support that process? By making sure you drink a lot of water. You asked me, Gogo, what is a lot of water? Personally, a lot of water is 1 gallon a day. A gallon is, I don't know, this is I'm just using this. This is like a 500 milliliter bottle. I drink 6 of these a day regularly. When I do these fast, I'm going to up it to 8 of these. That's just me, but it will help clear the toxins so that the toxins aren't being brought to the surface, but there's not enough water for you to excrete it through sweat, through pee, through poop, and all those interesting biological functions, okay? So that's it in a nutshell, guys. I really hope, royals, that you do understand the importance of this, that you do stick to it. And yeah, see you all soon. See you all in Zalo. I expect to see the most of you, whoever you are, when you see this video. I will know that you watched this video and you didn't show up. So please do try to come. We need as many of us there as possible. You know what it is we're doing, right? Siphahlela umhlaba, land back. Siphahlela wealth back. Siphahlelani. Reparations, sipahlelani. Artifacts back, sipahlelani. Freedom, finally, from umlungu and all colonial constructs. Siphahlelani futhi, the fall of the republics. Ayilesayipahlela ngempela. And already umoya is showing us that that's happening. Okay, that's enough said. I hope you find this useful. Please, please, please. All I can say is peace be the journey. So we are all starting today. Let's talk.